Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only game news show brave enough to be excited for Battlefield 6 after playing Battlefield 2042.
Yeah, it got fun eventually.
It did.
Well, damn, Bruce, you were in it hard. You bought the premium edition, early access.
I did it all.
How much were you out on 2042?
I must have spent $130 on it, probably.
Yowza. Well, you've had enough time to recover. That bank account's hopefully looking good. This game is going to be expensive, but we'll get there in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Electronic Arts, DICE, and a raft of co-developers revealed Battlefield 6. They're calling it 6. That's fun. With the trailer focusing on the game's single-player campaign yesterday. That was the trailer yesterday.
Yeah. The trailer racked up 6.3 million views and 412,000 likes in the day since it was uploaded. Here's a fun little comparable because everyone likes a little slap fight. Even with just a fraction of the views, it already has about triple the likes of the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 trailer, which debuted in early June.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Take that, COD.
The Battlefield trailer, absolutely packed with explosions and destruction, depicts a conflict between U.S. and presumably Allied forces against the Pax Armada, a private military company.
Yeah, this is according to the video's description. Pax Armada wants to destroy NATO and all of its allies in accordance with their creed, our protection, your peace.
Conflicts will take place in multiple global environments, including Manhattan, New York. The trailer even shows the Manhattan Bridge getting destroyed, which was awesome, by the way. It looks rad.
Yeah, it looked really cool. I just thought that was unique because I think even Call of Duty games don't take place in real life places anymore. Yeah, they're not even allowed, like, they got sued for using particular landmarks and things for them to have like a photoreal Manhattan Bridge. Pretty sure it's the Manhattan Bridge. I looked it up on Google Maps. That was kind of neat and kind of an interesting change for like a modern political shooter.
That is really cool. I didn't know that, Lawrence. That's a nice little factoid. So then multiplayer details for Battlefield 6 will have to wait. There's a multiplayer gameplay reveal live event scheduled for next Thursday, July 31st.
Yes, but this is the internet. And we don't like waiting, so we don't. There are a lot of leaks from various sources around. And again, a lot of these are leaks. Well, not the first one we'll talk about, but a lot of the other ones are leaks, so take them with a grain of salt.
Yeah, the first tiny bit is official. Battlefield's X account announced that the game will offer separate playlists with weapons that are locked or unlocked to the game's classes. So now everybody can have sniper rifles and RPGs, but it's sort of like you could do whatever you want. They're gonna test it. They're literally gonna test whether or not people really they want the classes locked to weapons or they want unlocked, and then I will assume they decide on what is more popular.
Yeah, or the players decide. Who knows? I guess I always like the locked style, but that's just me. I don't want everyone to converge on a single gun, which is I feel like what would happen.
I agree.
Anyway, moving on from there, consistent leaker Bill Coon leaked launch date, price, and package information in a post on D-Labs.
Yeah, Bill Coon first credits the 1BF Telegram group, who data mined a launch date of October 10th for Battlefield 6 and an open beta in August out of the EA app.
Yeah, so nice job there. The report goes on to include even more info about Battlefield 6, though. First off, it'll be available in standard or Phantom editions. Phantom edition's not really a collector's edition, though. It's digital only and adds a bunch of digital content. We're not quite sure what yet. And it can be purchased separately as an upgrade.
Battlefield 6 will not be available on last-gen consoles, thank God. Xbox One and PlayStation 4. That would have just held it back, so good that they did that.
Absolutely. Especially in a game about destruction. You need a little more beef to render all that destruct. Speaking of destruction, yes, your bank account is going to get exploded like that helicopter in the trailer. It's going to be €80 for the standard edition on consoles, €70 on PC.
Oh, interesting. The Phantom Edition upgrade is €30 across PC and console. Lately, prices have been equal across regions, which is interesting because the dollar and the euro, they don't equal each other.
No, they don't. Yeah.
But the prices could equal each other. So this could indicate the console version will be $80 in the United States of America, and that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I think so too. They're gonna have to dazzle people though. The trailer's good, but yeah, hopefully they have they have to like sparkle people's eyes to make them okay, I think, with paying this higher price, but we'll see where that goes. We have a few more leaked bits of info here from Kick streamer Rival Factor.
Yeah, they leaked Battlefield 6 will include a free-to-play battle royale mode. Something I've been saying for literal years, Lawrence. But it won't launch until a few months after the game launches.
That's really interesting. In addition to that, Rival Factor leaked a few details about whatever this upcoming live event's going to be. They said that it'll stretch 3 days and it'll feature content creators and have developer interviews. So it's just a whole like unpacking of the game. It's a kind of E3 style, but just dedicated to one game.
It sounds a lot like that Borderlands event that you and I did, where we went to Borderlands 4 Fan Fest, and then like basically they put a bunch of content creators in a room on their own computer, and then we all played Borderlands 4 for the basically the multiplayer reveal on stream. And I think that's what this sounds like this is turning into as well.
Wonder if they're going to have another music performance. We got 30 minutes out of Joey Valance and Braid. The shortest performance I think I've ever seen in my life, but it was awesome.
Boy, who could they have perform
for Battlefield? Shit.
For Battlefield? Kid Rock?
Yeah, it would be something like that. It'd have to be some grungy rock dude. Hopefully, I think what would be ideal is if they have some professional musician have an alternate like Battlefield universe persona that they perform under. I'm off in left field here, but yeah, Kid Rock performing as, I don't know, Boy Thrash.
Yeah, there you go, man. Hell, that sounds awesome. This whole thing seems like it's going to be a huge event. And what's weird about this is it has to be. Electronic Arts apparently wants to attract 100 million players. This sounds like this is a fake number. There's no way anybody said this. They want to attract 100 million players to the new game, according to a report from Ars Technica. Whoever's at EA, they are on some serious expensive drugs, because that's crazy.
It is. As far as that goes, I think even in the context of the story, it feels like it's discussed internally as a number that's sort of like shoot for the moon and land among the stars. It's like we want to build a game with that honest intention, even if realistically we understand that even the best game now probably couldn't get 100 million players, especially if it costs $80. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. I don't know, Bruce, what do you make of all this? Does anything stick out to you? Anything seem weird or off?
Weird or off? No. I do know, because I've been speaking directly with Battlefield PR for months now. I'm probably even over that for a long time. So just so you know, I'm like deep into this whole Battlefield thing. I'm not sponsored by Battlefield. They are going to send me a package at some point of that, like that little Battlefield 6 package that's already been leaked. I don't have it yet. But I'm not sponsored, so that you should know. And I love Battlefield. I've loved Battlefield for 25 years. So with all of that in mind, I'm very excited to play Battlefield 6 whenever they do the open beta or whatever it is. I've been begging them for years on this very show to do a free-to-play mode to release alongside with the game, so then that way they can get players into the Battlefield ecosystem. They don't pay $80. Obviously, I'm going to pay $80 because I love Battlefield, but they need to do the Warzone model, and they're way late on that Warzone model. They should have done that with Firestorm way back when they released that Battle Royale, or I think it was Battlefield 5 had Firestorm. So it's good. It sounds like they're listening to people like me, other content creators, and they truly do want to hear all of our input when it comes to like locked classes and locked weapons and all that other stuff. Like they've been sort of asking us over and over and over, hey, you know, what do you think of this? What did you want to do? Lawrence, I even shot a video with them, with one of the developers, one of the main developers, and they had us ask a bunch of questions about Battlefield, like what we wanted in the next Battlefield. And it's funny because they didn't even air most of it, but they were very specific questions to the terrible launch of 2042, and then comparing it to the new Battlefield. They wanted us to like ask the questions, hey, like how can we avoid the launch of 2042 for Battlefield 6? So there's a lot of stuff that they've been listening to. Now I don't know if they are able to implement them, but they have at least asked those questions and wanted to hear the tough answers from us. So that's good.
Yeah, that is really good. Sounds like their heart's in the right place. I'm curious about 2042. I guess the one observation I had about the information we just reported is delaying the launch of a free-to-play game. I feel like the publisher perspective, well, they have Apex, they have free-to-plays under their roster, but I feel like they want to keep the idea of a franchise you pay for and a franchise you play for free distinct in people's minds. I guess Call of Duty managed to do it with Warzone, but they did have to stagger the release. It wasn't perceived as like being the new flagship of the franchise or even like competing with the launch of the premium product. So this makes a lot of sense, but it also means all the free-to-play players are going to be walking in 3 months late to a game that ostensibly everybody else has had practice with. But I guess if it's a whole new mode, that kind of resets things. So this is a pretty elegant way to do it, provided that it doesn't just, bomb terribly when it lands. But it sounds like they've had the time. It's spent enough time in the oven. Well, so back to that though, about their efforts to fix this. what were the issues around 2042 that were like solidly identified that could be prevented or remedied?
Just a few of the ones that I've seen 1,000 times were the fact that it was like a hero shooter, right? They were like basically heroes with abilities, and then any of those people, like you said, could use any weapon. And so then everybody would just, the meta would just burn in on one weapon, right? And that's no fun. That isn't Battlefield, generally speaking. Most other older Battlefield games all have specific weapons to a specific class. There was no hero shooter abilities, anything like that. I didn't mind the hero abilities; it didn't bother me, but it bothered a lot of other people. So those are the things that I've seen a lot of people complain about with 2042. Also, 2042, the rumor was it was meant to be a battle royale mode, and then they like pivoted, and which is why that game sort of felt weird. Like it was like they're like, well, it's a lot of players and there's no destruction. Like they got rid of all the destruction. I can tell you from what I've seen of Battlefield 6, it's just all destruction. It's just constant destruction, which is great. That's so exciting. So that's back. And I took that out of 2042, and that made a lot of people angry. Don't forget, Lawrence, 2042 launched with no scoreboard. Remember that shit?
Yeah, you're
that
right.
Blew my
no voice
mind.
over IP. Oh man,
that blew my mind. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a scoreboard for Battlefield 6, which is amazing. And if we'll all get the chance to play the open beta here in a couple of weeks, if that rumor is true, it's supposed to be beginning of August. So I'll be playing the shit out of it. I know you will be too. You and I are going to be grinding that bad boy because we both love Battlefield. And yeah, I'm really excited, Lawrence. I think $80 is maybe a death knell for this game, unless it's like the best video game in the world. I really do think that they need to knock it down to 70. Like, I don't think they're going to do that, but they really need to knock it down to 70.
It'd be interesting to see if they do. I guess they have what, like a month or two to kind of feel out the price, see how pre-orders look and all that. Yeah, Microsoft already kind of backed off that price, so I wonder if they're setting up a precedent. I wonder if it'd be funny if the going strategy now is to announce high, so that when you roll it back, everybody cheers. Yeah, hopefully it'll be a splash. Yep. I'm excited to see it. It's interesting you mentioning destruction and how that's a focal point in this game. I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's a game where destruction is like a core mechanic. I would really like to see, and I think 5 did this to some degree with like the destruction and how you could rebuild cover and stuff like that. It'd be neat if destruction were somehow a core mechanic in 6 to the same degree, although I don't know how to imagine that. I really liked how engagements would change in a space in 5 based on what cover was available or what cover's been rebuilt or where you can rebuild cover. So yeah, if there was something like that in 6 where you have all the tools to just level the cover or actually change the topography of an engagement or like a capture zone, I'd be interested to see what they can do with that without going fully Fortnite with it.
Without saying too much, I could tell you that destruction is a core tenet of every single map and every single thing that they are sort of touting for Battlefield 6. That's why they're showing it in that campaign. They're showing every building coming down.
That trailer was
helicopters crashing into buildings over and over. And it was kind of funny because I was like, all right, we get it. Like, they keep crashing helicopters. But that truly is something. That was the first thing that when I was speaking to them, a long time ago, they were like, we want everything to be destructible. So I think you're pretty safe there.
Rad. Love to hear it. Also, love to hear that new Battlefield theme. I don't know. That was a cool take on it.
That's an old Battlefield. That's a throwback to the old Battlefield theme. That's the best part. That's like even like before 4.
Oh, it's been ever since 1942. They just keep reinterpreting it, which I think there's not a lot of games that do that, like work with a central motif like that.
Man, I love that. Oh, I loved it, Lawrence. It was so good to hear because 2042s didn't even have any fucking music. It was like it was just like a bunch of digital bullshit. And I was like, why'd they get rid of the theme? Everybody loves the Battlefield theme. So like, and I know just like you and everybody else, everyone was excited to hear the new old Battlefield theme.
Yeah, I fist pumped. I was watching the trailer in bed as soon as I woke up and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's sick.
Great way to start the day. Speaking of, another good way to start the day is with some free video games. That's right, Inside Games is yet again on your side. Here's this. We kind of collect them weekly, I guess, at this point. But you got Legion TD2. That's free on Epic Games. That's a multiplayer tower defense game. I guess in some small way, paying homage to all the adult games that we lost this week, you can get Hentai Triple X Plus Jigsaw Volume 1 free on Indie Gala. I don't think we can link to that in the description, but if you just Google it, I'm sure you can find it. It's got 3.5 out of 5 stars. Pretty great for a porno jigsaw puzzle game. And finally, Venba is free on Amazon Prime. They have a couple other bigger. They have Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered and Star Wars Jedi Knight still. We called those out before. They're still free there, but Venba's the new edition, so check it out. And an Inside Games tip of the Gamer Fedora this week to Double Fine Games for making Brutal Legend free for 666 minutes in honor of Ozzy Osbourne's passing. Real classy of you, Double Fine, and it was free and then not free before we could even shoot an episode about it. So hopefully you grabbed it while it was there. But yeah, solid move. Brutal Legend's an awesome game, so check it out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We also like to shout out a few patrons that support our Inside Games Patreon every single month. That manage they don't crash that plane as soon as they spawn in one in Battlefield, and that's very, very hard to do.
That's next level.
You know it's going to happen as soon as you get in that plane. Caleb Clark and Brian English will be your wingman anytime.